Hello, my name is Lumiel, and this is the Bloodborne lore through where we play through Bloodborne and discuss the lore as we go. In this episode, we are going to take on the Orphan of Kaz, or some say Kazum. In the previous episode, we finished the, I call it Slug Factory of the fishing hamlet, and it brought us to this entrance, which we knew led down into the final arena. I am going to be using Ludwig's Holy Blade rather than the Holy Moonlight Greatsword, because I feel like the physical damage boost of that weapon versus the arcane of the Holy Moonlight will be more effective against the Orphan. I am going to have my gun out for a little bit, trying to stun him. I don't know how effective it'll be. I guess I'll keep that equipped, the Black Sky Eye, as a, all else fails. He's got a good arcane defense, so we are just going to head in now. We're not going to bother any of these slugs or people, really, and we are going to take a look at this vista before it all starts. There is the sun or the moon, with a scourge around it seeping in like a beast scourge eye. There is the sea creature corpse that we've been seeing through the whole DLC. That is Kaz, or some say Kazum. That is the wrathful mother. That is the start of the great sin of the area. The sin of the first hunters and of Bergenorth. Now we're just going to approach. And that is the Orphan of Kaz. So, this is the Orphan of Kaz. He is a very fast enemy, very difficult enemy. He leaps around a lot. He uses I think it's the placenta attached to his arm like a club, and will swing it around both, like I said, like a club, and around him like a weight on the end of a rope to kind of trip you up. And he will transform, as all the bosses do, and become more fast and aggressive as he goes. But let's go ahead and get started. And now we have his attention. So that's the super aggressive attack that I was talking about. Let him... There, he started to trip up my dodging. So he'll throw that down, and it'll burst around him. In the second phase, that will be even more dangerous. Oh, I didn't realize he was throwing that one at me. We're trying to get him to leap here. And he didn't. But I could have also done a charge attack on him there. I got lucky with the first half of that, unlucky with the second half. See, that was the wide sweep that I mentioned? Okay. Too slow, but still let us get a charge attack off, but we didn't stun him with it. So when he jumps at you, you can just walk forward. Not that one. When he jumps like that, but I was too late. That one. And really I should have used my charge attack there. Here's where he's gonna go nuts and transform, I think. You want to dodge late on that one. I did not. I didn't even dodge on that, so explains why it hurt so bad. I forgot to ever even try to use my gun. So he's probably going to go nuts here, and if I had dodged towards him, that would have been great. And that is the Orphan of Kaz. Again, I'm over leveled. You'll have to be a little more careful. But that's the basic move set. The best move, I think, and the best counter is when you kind of put space between them, and you'll usually do one of two things. He'll either come towards you and do a smashing club, which just roll at the right time. I know that's easy to say, and I rarely did it, but that's because I kept mistaking it for the other move, which is where he runs towards you and jumps, in which case you only need to roll. You just keep walking towards him. It'll put you behind him. You can do a charge attack and stun him and perform a visceral. And just keep an eye on your health and keep healing. So even with as over-leveled as I am, I had to use 11 blood vials. So let's take a look at this Kaz Parasite before we go anywhere else. The Kaz Parasite is a right-handed weapon. When the carcass of Kaz washed up on the coast, its insides were teeming with tiny parasites, unlike any found in humans. This atypical weapon can only be clasped tight and swung, but a Kaz Parasite is said to stimulate phantasms inhabiting a Lumenwood. So what this means is you combine this with the Lumenwood rune and it's even more powerful. But the other thing I want to draw attention to is the fact that it said, when the carcass of Kaz washed up on the coast, its insides were teeming with tiny parasites, unlike any found in humans. So, in this fishing hamlet, Kaz, the carcass of Kaz, a great one washed up on shore, and it had these parasites, and they farmed them, assumedly ate them. Maybe that's what changed them. And then eventually Bergenworth and the first hunters came here and were killing people and digging into their skulls to try to find eyes, which it's assumed these parasites did put eyes literally on the inside of these people. And the Lady Maria, was part of these first hunters, and she was a protege to Gehrman, and she was ashamed for what she had done here, for what they had done here. She threw her beloved Rakuyo blade, like that of her ancestors in Castle Canehurst, though it relied on other skills than blood. She threw it down a well, and she put herself, well, first she took a flower from the Lumenwood garden outside the Astral Clock Tower and made a monument overlooking the corpse of Kaz, a gravestone, and placed a flower upon it. She then went into the Astral Clock Tower, which was the path to get here, blocked it off, and sat vigil there, hiding both her shame and seemingly protecting the people here, but probably ultimately protecting their secret. She then left the first hunters, which left Gehrman seemingly quite distraught, to the point where he built a doll in her visage and kept it with him, eventually abandoning it as this endless hunt went on, perhaps as a result of the curse that the priest that we first saw when we entered the fishing hamlet. Perhaps it's the curse against the hunters that he was mentioning. Or perhaps the curse is the result of whatever Gehrman and Lawrence were working on together, where Gehrman muttered in his sleep, "Lawrence, I can't wait much longer. What's taking you so long?" Lawrence, who we've not seen the last of, but the last time we saw him, his corpse was in the Hunter's Nightmare in the Grand Cathedral, clasping the key that led up to the area that led to here. And whatever Lawrence and Gehrman were doing to try to stop the curse, end the long night, was left unfinished, and I think they've lured other hunters in an attempt to stop it. So that note at the beginning, "Seek pale blood to end the hunt," could have been from Gehrman. It could have been from ourselves. And now we're left here on the shore, the curse against the hunters could also be referring to the fact that eventually all hunters hear the ringing of a bell and go mad and are drawn into the hunter's nightmare, where they will hunt endlessly without any hope of progress. So that is Kaz, or some say Cosm. I'm quoting Mikolash. But we see what looks to be like a shadow phantasm of the Orphan there. We see what appears to be the head of Kaz, and in here, under the tentacles, we can see a humanoid face with lips and a nose. Now let's approach. By the way, humanoid hand also. So this great one was a sea creature type great one.
Sweet child of Kos, returned to the ocean. A bottomless curse, a bottomless sea, accepting of all that there is and can be.
So that is it for the Orphan of Kos battle. In the Hunter's Nightmare and all the DLC, there's just one more thing to do, and that is go to the Grand Cathedral and place the skull of Lawrence's skull into the hand of his beast form. He became a beast in the real world, and his human skull exists only in the nightmare. He is seeking his skull, but even if he found it, it could never restore his memories. So we will return that to him in the next episode. So we're going to have a few boss fights here in a row. That was Orphan of Kos. Next we have Lawrence. We still have Gehrman waiting for us in the Hunter's Dream. So please look forward to those, and thank you for checking out this video.